The University of California, Riverside undergraduate admissions presents Blue, Gold, and Black podcast that is dedicated to amplifying Black voices at UCR. I'm Savannah Richardson from UC Riverside's Black and African American Recruitment Unit in undergraduate admissions, where our team motto is We Raise the Bar. For season 2, not only will we continue to explore the intersection of being Black and being a Highlander, but also take a dive into the past, present, and future, or another phrase, accomplished, achieve, and aspire, of current and Black Highlanders. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to our next episode of the Blue, Gold, and Black podcast, held to you by the University of California, Riverside and our undergraduate admissions department. I'll be your host today. My name is Savannah Richardson. I'm an admissions counselor at the university. And today, one of our guests is going to be NaChé Thompson. And I'm going to allow her to introduce herself and let us know what she's currently doing and what year she was with us at UC Riverside.
Hi, I'm NaChé Thompson. Thanks for having me, Savannah. I'm the founder of NaChé Cosmetics. I graduated from UC Riverside in 2010.
Awesome. So we'd love to know, can you give us some insight about your upbringing and your journey that led you to pursue higher education, specifically at UCR, and any particular experiences that stick out to you or challenges that influenced your path?
My parents were both college educated. They were teachers, and then they each moved on to other careers. My dad, a district office administrator. My mom was a professor, and then they worked at an ed tech company after that. And so education was just always a part of my life. My parents expected me to go to college. There was never really a question about whether or not I would be going to college. It was just like, after high school, you go to college. That's all there is to it. Yeah, that's how I ended up at UCR. And in terms of challenges along my path, I had some challenges towards the end of high school, but still ended up at UCR.
And what did you end up majoring in when you attended UCR?
I majored in African American Studies at UCR and I had a really good time. Maybe a little bit too much fun, but also learned a lot.
Okay, great. And why African American Studies? That's not one that we hear a lot of people applying to for a major.
Yeah, so I went in as a psychology major. At the time, I was not really focused all the way on psychology. Like I wasn't all the way interested in it. And so the classes that I took were African American Studies courses. And so at some point, my counselor called me in and was like, if you want to major in psych, you got to take some psych classes. And I was just like, nah, I really like what I'm learning in these African American Studies classes. So I changed my major and I have never regretted it.
Awesome. That's good to hear. So reflecting on your time at UCR, can you share any specific highlights or moments that had like a profound impact on your personal or academic growth while at UCR?
Yeah, I always look back fondly at my time at UCR. I graduated back in 2010. I stayed one extra year to finish my coursework. But I had a great time, like looking back, that was the best time of my life, my years I spent at UCR. And being a part of African student programs, being a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, those things, those connections that I made through being a part of each of those, they made a huge impact on me. I'm still friends with people I was friends with in college. Some of my best friends are people I met in college. And so just being connected to the Black community at UCR. And at the time we had like 6% or 10% or something. We had a lot of Black people at UCR when I went there. And so we had a really tight knit Black community that I was happy to be a part of. And now that I'm older and, you kind of see, you're not as connected to a Black community, like a centralized Black community. I really miss being there sometimes.
Nice. So could you say like you really felt like maybe it was kind of like that HBCU feel or maybe not?
HBCUs hate when we say this, I'm sure, but yes, like everybody I knew at UCR for the most part, aside from like my roommate, was Black. So all the events I went to were Black events. We had all these events on campus. We had
What was your favorites?
We had social events that were really cool. Like each sorority and fraternity, Black sorority and fraternity did their own events, specialized events. We had events at the bell tower. We always were throwing programs. We marched at one point. We wanted more Black faculty. So we dressed in all Black and we marched up to the admin building. Like we just had a time. So I have a lot of good experiences and a lot of good memories about things that happened there.
That's good to hear. So, knowing that you're a part of some different organizations, can you tell us about how you leverage the networks and connections that you established at UCR and how it may have advanced your career or contributed positively to the work that you're doing now?
Yeah, so at the time, you just don't know who you're around, right? Like you're just friends or you're just acquaintances or meeting people. But now that we're grown and people have careers, I'm friends with doctors and lawyers and engineers and chemists and models and actors and movie producers and rock stars and all kinds of really cool things. So you just, all these connections, I mean, I still work with people that I met at UC Riverside. Someone who just did the photo shoot for NaChé Cosmetics. She served as creative director. She also is a rock music artist. Like that person is someone I met on campus. Someone who edited a video for us, someone I met on campus. So all these, you don't know who your personal network is at school. You just know who's cool, you know what I mean? Like who you want to be around. And then as you get older and settle into your careers, these people become valuable resources to lean on as you age. And that's what's happened with me.
Nice, that's good to hear. Are there any networks that you recommend students join while they're currently in undergrad or even might should consider afterwards?
I definitely recommend people get connected with African student programs. As I was navigating college as someone who never had to study in high school, it was important to be connected to a center where they had like resources, they had study networks. There was always someone in there who could help me understand a concept that I was struggling with in my classes. And then also the director at the time was also a valuable resource, someone who was connected to, if I needed help with financial aid or if I needed to know how to do something on campus or navigate some system that he was familiar with, he was always willing to help. So I would say get connected with whatever resource center you can, whether it's the Writing Center, the Women's Resource Center, African Student Programs, something like that. And then also to join a club or an extracurricular. So, I did African Americans United in Science, even though I wasn't a science major. I did Nigerian Student Association. I was on the dance team, and then I was Delta, so I'm a Delta. So just get connected however you can. Meet as many people as you can meet when you're an undergrad.
That's good to hear that even though you weren't a science major, you said, hey, let me go ahead and go get some more information still. So
Yeah.
that's another crucial thing for students to realize is that just because you don't identify or not the same major as some things, it's okay to go ahead and experience other things. That's the good thing about undergrad is you have that exploration period for yourself.
Yeah, I think that's what college is really for. Like, of course, you're going to learn something, and you may or may not use it in the career you go into afterwards, but college is a time to explore who you are. It's a time to understand other cultures and other people, and, just learn as much as you can in this place where you don't have like a ton of bills yet. Your job really is to become an adult. So, yeah, use whatever you can to learn as much as you can while you're there. That's what I would say to do.
Thank you for that. So you might know that UCR was ranked 4 years running specifically for being number one in social mobility on our campus. So the concept of social mobility is crucial for many of our. So how do you think the experience and opportunities at UCR differ from those from other institutions in fostering social mobility?
I will definitely say I went to grad school as well, so I got a master's. So I will say that at UCR, the connections that I've made have lasted. I made more connections with people who ended up in high places that could also help me elevate. And then also like just being a part of that professional network of Deltas has also helped a lot too. So I don't know how it compares to other institutions aside from the grad school that I went to, but I will say that I have done pretty well for myself and that I credit a lot of that to my time at UC Riverside.
And I have to agree, you have done a lot. She didn't mention to y'all that she's also an author. She is an educator as well. So with these job titles of also being a business owner as well, can you elaborate on the responsibilities and tasks that come with that role, and how does it align with your career trajectory and goals that you have for yourself?
Yeah, so I was an educator for a long time. I spent over 10 years in the field of education, first as a teacher and then as a district administrator. And my responsibility was really adjacent to finance. So I dealt with grants from the government, making sure that money was spent in accordance with the law. And then recently, last year, I left my job in education. Now I'm a business owner full time. And so just run NaChé Cosmetics all the time. But when I quit my job, I did a lot of the things I had always wanted to do, but just didn't have time for. And so one of those things was to publish my book. I published a children's book called Big Big Ivan, and you can get it on Amazon. And so how have my job titles aligned with my goals? Is that what you said? Yeah, my goals, my goals have changed over time. My main goal is really just to be like an awesome parent and to make things that people love. And so I think I'm doing okay with both of those. I actually left UCR pregnant with my first child. He's 12 now. And yeah, I think I've reached my goals, my first set of goals, which was to be a great parent and to make things people love. And I'm sure my goals will transform over time.
Awesome. And might I say, you are doing a great job being a full-time business owner. I'm currently wearing one of her lipstick shades right now. It's known as Queen, and I absolutely love it. This is some of her she has for her lipstick. I've also been able to have one of her compacts that I absolutely love.
Thank you
So
so much for
definitely
wearing it.
check out her business. We will be linking her books and her cosmetic line down in the bio. So please go ahead and check it out. Congratulations on your spotlight for your business that you received on Good Day LA.
Thank you.
It was doing a great job highlighting the fantastic assistance provided by BBOP, the Black and Brown Opportunities and Profit Center, and their expertise. So we would love to know, can you provide more details on the specific support and initiatives or resources for which your business has benefited from contributing to its advancements working with BPOP?
Yeah, I love the BBOP Center. I'm actually here right now. You can see the logo behind me. This center is amazing. So I live in San Bernardino, and if you know anything about San Bernardino, we have like a lot of logistical capabilities here, but we're really under-resourced. And so the BBOP Center has provided this space for Black and Brown women to come and build their businesses from scratch, whether you have products that are already ready like I had, or whether you just have an idea and you need a roadmap for how to succeed. They're here to provide support. So I've gotten business coaching here. I get it often, actually. I still come all the time. I get business coaching here. I used the online modules that it's like online education to teach you how to run a business. Really, I've gotten free business school almost through being here. And then also this network and community of women. So there are all these other women here who are talented, building their own businesses. And we have everything from people who are chefs and who create their own seasoning lines, like Chef Quazel, to me with the makeup, to people who are tailors making their own dresses by hand. There's everything you can think of under the sun in this building. And then it's high tech and state of the art. So I can have my Zoom meetings here. I can meet with people in person in these conference rooms. I can utilize the space, and it has a childcare space. So I have 2 children, and they both come with me when they're not at school. They both come with me here so I can work on my business uninterrupted. It's pretty awesome.
Oh my goodness, that is
one more thing about that. Sorry. The other thing about that is that they also give you the opportunity to pitch your business at the end of the coursework. So I recently won $10,000 by pitching my company, NaChé Cosmetics, and sharing my vision. And then also they bring investors into the building as well. So you can pitch to the investors in exchange for equity.
awesome. And this center is located in LA, correct?
No, this is right here in San Bernardino, up the street from UC Riverside. It's off Arrowhead and 5th Street. So it's just a short drive up to 215.
Oh man, well, you heard it here first, right there in San Bernardino. We have BPOP for you students. It looks like they have a lot of opportunities for you guys to progress your business. So maybe consider looking into them and see what they can do to help you all out. Thank you for highlighting that. I did have a chance to look at NaChé Cosmetics website as well, and you guys have a beautiful mission statement, specifically why you started your lipstick line. Can you go ahead and explain to our viewers what it was behind your lipstick line?
Yeah, so NaChé Cosmetics is it's an inclusive beauty company, and we're focused on meeting the makeup needs of people with dark skin. And so right now we have a line of liquid matte lipstick. We're going to expand into traditional lipstick, into foundation and concealer, also for people with dark skin. And as you see, I'm a dark skinned woman. And so my entire life, I have felt that it was just unjust that I could not find certain things that everyone else had access to, like foundation that matched my skin, like red lipstick that looked good on me. It just made me mad. And so I started this company really out of annoyance. I had a job interview that was the next day. I needed makeup. I didn't have any. I went to go get makeup and I left feeling humiliated because there was nothing in this beauty store that made me feel beautiful. And so I just wanted to change that. And NaChé Cosmetics is that, you know?
No, I definitely can relate. I'm also a woman that is dark skinned, and I find myself oftentimes matching a light color with a dark color, adding more of this, adding more of that. And I'm like, why do I have to spend more time trying to create something for me?
Right.
So I definitely appreciate you going ahead and doing the work for us, because
Thank
we're all
you.
going to be ready to spend the money. You did the
Yeah.
work, got the money.
I love it.
So I just want to say your goal with that is very commendable. We really want to celebrate that and how you're representing skin properly. So I would love if you could share some of the insight and research to the development process that goes into creating lipstick shades and making sure that we truly have a complete and wide spectrum of skin tones.
Yeah, so we work with a reputable cosmetics lab. We've partnered with a cosmetics lab that helps us formulate, but really it comes down to getting people with dark skin in the room during the development process. I think a lot of these larger companies just overlook us, and that ain't right. But we bring dark skinned people into the room. Everybody tries on everything. We have a process for having them evaluate what they're wearing. And then if it doesn't look good, if it doesn't feel good, if there is some issue with what they've tried on, we toss it. If it looks good and they feel good in it, then we tweak the formulas from there based on what they say. So if the texture is not right, if the lipstick is not thick enough, a lot of us have a brown top lip and we need full coverage lipstick to cover that lip. To make our lipstick look a certain way. And so all of that is feedback we get from the women in the room, the people in the room, and then we send it over to the lab and they send us back samples until they're what we need them to be. And so that's how we're going to continue. Also, when we release our foundation and our concealers, we're going to be working with this really awesome company that helps you formulate, and they kind of take over that process that I just mentioned. And we're just involved along the way.
Nice. Okay. You think about all the things some of us are thinking about but don't want to say or don't even consider until, like, you just mentioned some things. So thank you for that. So NaChé, we would love if you could provide us some examples of how your educational environment with faculty and staff and resources or any programs help develop necessary expertise and confidence for you.
You know what? So I majored in African American studies. I had a great time in that major. Everything I learned was really impactful to me. And I think that part of the way I'm able to recognize that this issue I'm solving with people with dark skin not having access to high quality makeup, I'm able to contextualize that because of my major, African American Studies from UCR. So I'm able to identify that that is the result of racism, that it's the result of colorism, and that it's an issue, a social justice issue, not just, oh, I want makeup and I can't find it, but it's really a social justice issue about who do companies deem worthy of creating products for. I'm able to contextualize it in that way because of my time at UCR, studying under impactful professors like Dr. Daniel Walker and Dr. Jana Brown, like the things that they taught me about how to think about the world around me. That's something I brought into my career as an educator because I taught ethnic studies and English. That's something I brought into my career as an educator. It's also something I bring into my current career as CEO of NaChé Cosmetics. So I can't talk enough about the impact that UCR made on me. I just loved my time there and I learned so much and I had a great time with my major, but I think also it's important to remember that like, it's not that it doesn't matter what you major in, it's just that your major doesn't pigeonhole you. So you can major in something and then go on to be something else. Like I don't have to be an African American studies professor, right? I can just take what I learned and apply it to what I'm doing.
For sure. I'm glad that you pointed that out, because just because you have one major, for instance, African American studies, doesn't mean, okay, I'm stuck on teaching. As you can see, she took her knowledge and presented it in her business. And that's huge that she's able to know exactly what her demographics are, who her customers are, and how her product is really going to resonate with them in the bigger scheme of things. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
As we do wrap up here, I would love to know, what do you consider during your personal journey and your current status? What advice do you have for our current and future UCR students that want to achieve maybe a similar social mobility or professional growth that you have?
Meet as many people as you can while you're at UCR, while you're in college. It doesn't matter, like, if you don't think your personalities will click. Like, even when I think back to like people I was beefing with at UCR at the time, like it's been 10 years, those things don't even matter. Like, when we see them, it's all love, it's all UCR love. So meet as many people as you can, get as connected as you can on campus, because those relationships, that social capital, and then also what you learn there, those are all things you're going to have to lean on as you grow up. I say grow up, but you're already grown.
On our way up, all of us. Well, thank you so much, NaChé, for sharing your background at UCR and what you're currently doing now. You're doing some amazing things, and I hope we can all share in your impact that you're having on the community here. If you guys would like to get any of NaChé's products, again, we will have it listed in the bio. Again, her lipstick line and her books. So please check it out. And again, thank you so much for tuning in with us, and everyone have a great rest of your day or evening.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on Blue, Gold, and Black podcast. This was produced by Black and African American Recruitment BAR team of undergraduate admissions at the University of California, Riverside. If you'd like to learn more about attending University of California, Riverside, the website is admissions.ucr.edu. The BAR team also has a website, admissions.ucr.edu/bar, where you can view our upcoming events and programs for prospective students. Also, contact us regarding supporting student success and building community at UCR. The description box below has useful links and resources linked to today's conversation. Support this podcast if you enjoyed it by liking, subscribing, and sharing, and also checking out our other episodes as well. I hope to see you on our side.